Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Now, in today's video, we are going to be talking about my swing trading strategy for 2026. Heading into the new year, it's always important to have an approach, a plan, a game plan, so we all can make as much money as possible. We're going to be starting from scratch. What do we need? How do we get there? All of that good stuff. So like, follow, and yes, I know the basement's messy. We get it. We just moved. We got kids. This is not a cleaning video, so you guys are in the good. You're you're fine. So, guys, let's dive into this here. But before we do, if you want to learn more about trading, check out our school. You guys can get 51% off by using code Black Friday. We teach you how to trade. We teach you how to find some of these stocks that we're going to be talking about today. So, like, follow, check it out. Code Black Friday. I'll see you guys in there, and let's dive into this here. So, what is swing trading? So, in simple terms, swing trading is when you buy something, you hold it for more than a day, but less than a year. When you buy and sell during the same trading day, it's considered a day trade. It's a different strategy, it's a different approach. And in my opinion, it's a lot harder to do to day trade because you have to be actively watching the stock, right? Often you're holding a position for minutes or hours, and it requires a lot more time devoted to looking at the market. Swing trading, on the other hand, you can do it with a 9 to 5, you can do it part time, you can do it full time, but it's still difficult in my opinion, but you still can get it done and do it if you master a couple of things and you put in the work to learn. It's just like any other job or career, doctor, lawyer, engineer. It takes years of practice of hard work before you could start seeing results. It took me over a year and a half before I saw my first dollar from swing trading. Now I've been doing it for over 7 years. Doable. You just got to put in the time. Now, the next thing is, why do I do it? Well, I do it because it gives me the flexibility to be with my kid, gives me the freedom to not be glued to my computer, and I just kind of was drawn to it. I started off day trading, lost a whole bunch of money in college, and I said, I am not doing this again. Brought up on swing trading, and I've been doing it ever since, right? It did take me, like I said, well over a year and a half before I started making money from this. So, what are we focusing on going into the new year? Well, the first thing is we're going to be focusing on basic blue chip stocks. I always think that blue chip stocks, especially for beginners, are going to be your bread and butter. They perform better, they're easier to follow, and you can trade them with almost every single broker, and most brokers have them offer fraction shares. So this brings me to my point of brokers. Brokers are how us as traders have access to the stock market. Back in the day, you'd have to call up your broker and say, hey, I need 10 shares of Apple. They didn't offer fraction shares. They would charge commission. It was incredibly expensive. When I first got into trading, I remember using Thinkorswim trade ideas, and I would literally be spending upwards of $8 to buy, $8 to sell. So if you have $100, you got to make at least 16% on your money just to break even. So now you can do it with as little as a dollar to start trading the market. Now, the broker I use, and the one that we're going to be showing today, is Moomoo. They're fantastic. I'll put a link to them down below. But the biggest thing is to have a broker that is a trading broker. So what this means is you want all those fun charting tools. You want indicators. You want to be able to draw and write on the charts. You want to be able to draw supports, resistance, and more importantly, you want to be able to scan for opportunity, scan for stocks. Back in the day, brokers didn't offer scanners, and even nowadays, some brokers still don't. And there's very expensive scanners like Trade Ideas that is upwards of $150 a month. So you want a broker that has it included in the broker because it'll save you time, it'll save you money, and it's all integrated into one, so you're not actively clicking between several different softwares to trade. So I used Moomoo. That's the one that I've been using for years. Now, we're also going to be talking about one of the most important things here, and that is your psychology. This is crucial for people that are just getting started because you don't realize it, but trading actually about 80% of it is emotions, right? When you buy a stock, you have a rush of, emotions. You could have fear, greed. More importantly, you could get FOMO. When you see someone buying a stock, maybe in a group, you could want to hop in on that position. But often you're chasing the train already left, right? So it's important to have a couple of rules. First rule is developing a checklist. So, a checklist is a set list of criteria that you always follow no matter what. What this does is it helps you narrow in on your strategy, but more importantly, it helps you narrow in on honestly not chasing stocks, not chasing out of your strategy, not trading based on emotion. It makes you make sure you're following this approach, right? The next thing is having the rule of threes. What this means is if you have three winners in a row, you take a step back and you review and assess and you see what went right, why you executed those trades better, and you're profitable on them. But the same thing is when you make three losers in a row. You take a step back, maybe take a day off, and you want to review those trades. Reviewing those trades and helping, figuring out what went wrong is very, very important so you can not make those mistakes again. The last thing you should be doing as a trader is going to be having a trading journal. I use a digital one. I'll put it down below for you guys. It helps you keep track of strategies that are working well and strategies that aren't working. So you can honestly focus on those that work. The reason I like having a digital trading journal is you can do it on your phone, your computer, and you don't have like to manually write it down. I do sell one that you guys can check out that is both digital, and I do sell one that you guys can buy for the physical copy, but I always recommend the digital. It's just easier because you can literally automate everything. It's already automated, so feel free to check it out. It's very, very cheap. But the last thing I want to talk about before we do this is having a couple of things. One is always place a trade with a target and a stop loss. If the target gets hit, sell your stock. If your stop gets hit, sell it. It's simple. You know, you need to understand the data behind trading. What that means is if you make 3%, you're in the top 5%. So you're among the best of the best traders in the entire world. You're in the top 5% of all traders, but with $100, 3% of $100 is $3. It's not gonna buy you a house. It's not even gonna buy you a coffee nowadays, but you're still on the right path. And the only thing that's separating you from making more money isn't your strategy, it's just your account size. So you just need to continue to compound that account. And before you know it, you'll get there. But you really need to understand the data behind that. And making 3%, you're doing everything very, very, very right. And this is why traders fail is they see YouTubers or TikTokers, whatever you want to call them, doubling their account in 30 days. It's incredibly hard to do so, to double your account, even often in a year. It's very, very hard. It's doable, but it's very, very, very difficult. So you want to make sure you have good risk management, risk, good risk and reward. And enough with that. Let's kind of talk about now the strategy that I'm using going into the year. So the first thing I kind of want to show you guys is the broker. I used Mumu, like I said, and this was the stock here, like you can see on our holdings list that we just took a nice position with, and this is with Meta. Now, you guys will see as we look at the daily time frame, looking at several different time frames is important. So looking at the daily, you guys can see each of these, right, red or green, represent 1 day of trading. So these candlesticks represent, and they have 4 pieces of information. They have the high, the low, the open, and the close. So you can look at it and kind of see, okay, during this day, we knew the high of the day was up here at 647. The low was, at 635. It opened near around 634, and it closed, around the 640 area, right? So it gives you a lot of information. So now it's important to look at several pieces of time frames before you ever place a trade. So let's talk about the stock here that we traded and why we traded it. So looking at the daily time frame, you guys can see I drew this white line. This white line is what we call a trend line. So we can see, looking at it, it hits it. And what happens? It gets buying pressure. So this is called a support trend line, right? It hits it, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure. It hit it in here. We did have some consolidation where it did go under that line. It's fine as long as we have several others of buying pressure. So then it sold off down to that same white line, right? And this is where our scanners that, if you guys are in the group, went off. And we said, okay, if it hits this and we can get a push up, this could be a good opportunity. Also, looking at an indicator by the RSI was trading for a 21. So it's important to look back at previous history with the RSI because this is a momentum indicator. It kind of sees if a stock's overvalued or undervalued. You guys can see the last time I was trading for a 21 was back in here. And what happened? It was followed up by great buying pressure. So now we go, okay, we could get a move going higher, but we don't want to just place a trade down here in hopes of it getting buying pressure. So it's important to look at other time frames. So I went ahead and I looked at the 1 hour chart. So now instead of each candle representing one day, now they represent 1 hour. So you guys can see it form this nice white trend line right here. Okay, this is a resistance trend line. So we have the support down on the bottom, resistance up top. So I threw an alert above this trend and I go, okay, if the stock pops up above this, this is a strategy called a resistance breakout. So the stock popped up, entered right here around 600, keeping our stop loss below 580, risking $20 for a push back up to highs at 760. So let's break that down with our long position tool. So if we hop in here, right, stop below here for a push up to highs, we're well over a 4-to-1, 3-to-1 risk and reward. So meaning we're risking $1 essentially to make upwards of $3 or $4 a share, which is a really, really, really good risk management. So now as the stock continues to go up, we're just going to keep moving our stop loss up and up and up. So now our stop loss we have is going to be just right below the previous day's closing price. So it's going to be right around here at near and around the 631 area. So this is a simple strategy using simple indicators, simple trend lines. So this is the exact strategy that I plan on using all of 2026, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll see you guys in the next one. But like, follow, check out our school, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and take care.